off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, in and out of a gas station like he's robbing it. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
And I'm in and out of that bad chair. I got a good chair now. I feel low, but still, better chair. It wasn't
Happy
so bad.
Purim to me. Oh, it was horrible. It was driving me crazy.
Purim. It was like my Boo Heyman maraca thing.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. People listen to this episode. Make sure you're downloading, hit subscribe. Go back and listen to one. Tell people we're on every platform, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. We're doing this today, episode 121. I don't have a fancy name for this. I'm calling this the Oscars 2022 because hopefully we'll keep doing this in 2023 and 2024. And
yeah,
so,
crush it.
Before we get into that, Zach, what are we drinking for today's episode?
We are drinking something that you picked out of the magic box, and I think I'm actually going to like it. It looks like my alley. So Golden Road Brewing Company, Golden State Cerveza. So it's got a little like low rider on it because that's what they drive in California.
Hey-o.
I can't say cholo. Mexican style lager. I think I'm going to be into this.
Can't say Mexican?
I can say Mexican.
Do you remember that song, Like a Cholo? That was hot for like a second.
I think I do,
Elbows
actually.
up, side to side.
Why do they only button the one button? What's with that?
I don't know. I'll ask my local Cholo.
Please do. Report back. Next week, so 122, Cholos and Allen.
I thought this would be a good beer for today just because it's gold, like the statue, and Hollywood, California. It was very applicable, if you will.
It checks a lot of boxes.
Awesome. Release the Kraken.
All right. Fire in the hole.
Cheers.
There it is. Oh, it's at the Conte.
I could drink 75 of those.
Oh my God. It's just getting a whole low rider. That's why lagers are great. You always makes fun of me. Oh, you're a lager guy. Get me the worst IPA you have. Yeah, well, I'm on beer 12. What are you on, big boy? Nursing 4? Please. 75 of these, no problem. These are just like golf. Just one per hole.
Tuesdays, we're doing this episode. We're going to start talking about the Oscars because by the time this episode comes out Saturday, the Oscars come out Sunday. For people who don't know, I freaking love the Oscars. I don't care what I don't care what people say. I like it. I do get a little annoyed by the whole event that it is. I do not love the way that they handpick certain movies. And for God's sake, enough with the participation trophies. It used to be 5, then it was 8, now there's 10. Not a fan of this. But I thought what we would do today, Zach, is we would go through, some of the movies that we saw, some of the movies that we loved, and let's talk about it a little bit. So before the podcast, we were talking, and you have a little bit different experience where you tend to know more of some of the other bullshit stuff, and I know more about the best pictures. So we will come together from there.
Why is animated bullshit? Because you can't draw?
I can't draw like my life depended on it.
You can? You're good?
I cannot.
Oh, me either. It's just like a stick figure with little schwanz. There's your guy. Let's play Pictionary. Let's go.
You put a schwanz on it?
Well, if it's a guy and I'm playing Pictionary, you have to let him know. Or win, lose, or draw. That show was great.
Before videos got so big and the internet and YouTube, when it came to giving patients of mine exercises, we always draw a little stick figure. And every patient would always say, is there a class for this in physical therapy school where they teach you how to draw? No, you just put
Only
the person...
the good schools.
You turn it sideways, you make them up, you put arrows. The best is one of my first preceptors at a job used to draw a big nose on it. And that's how you knew which way the thing was facing. It was ridiculous. So, Zach, let's start off first here with the best picture. Now,
not for nothing. I don't love the new format, how direct to streaming videos and such are now nominated for Best Picture. If it's not in the theater, which, by the way, I barely go to the theater anymore because of COVID and because I'm 100. But I don't love that there's Apple TV things and that there's Netflix movies that are nominated. Those aren't movies. That's schlock. Even if they're good, it's still schlock. Put in the theater. Get your ass out there. Get the popcorn.
I think they technically have to put it in the theater for like a hot second. So a lot of them do
Don't
end
Look Up was in the theater?
Yeah, it made no money. It made like $39,000 or something because it was immediately on Netflix. But most of them, there is a rule. This was back a couple years ago with Roma, where they put it in the theater for 6 weeks and then they put it right on Netflix, and that's why it didn't win, although it was supposed to. So, Zach, you said you saw 3 of the best pictures. So
yeah, I was going to see more, but I just didn't. So
all right. So, which one of the 3 was your favorite?
Oh, by far, Don't Look Up. The other ones I saw Dune, which was trash. I watched it last night. I had to take a shower in the middle of it to stay awake. Another friend of mine I know fell asleep during it, and it didn't do it for me. Now I got, and you said so too, that the book influenced Lucas and has made Star Wars. This was not Wars. This was barely Gate. The thing was nothing special. I get that the worm had teeth, and I get that they mined spice like in Star Wars. That's where it ends. The movie was
Foreign planets and the Greek hero's journey type of deal. That's where that gets from. But so
if you say so.
we're talking about Dune, which, as I'm going by the official odds betting by Vegas, that is your 7 seed of 10. Where if you put down $100, you would win $5,000 if Dune wins Best Picture.
And if that little pisher wins Best Actor, I'll pay you $5,000.
I don't think he's even nominated, is he?
Good, stunk it out.
So Dune is. I didn't love it. So I have the official odds here, and then I have my own rankings. I gave Dune the 8 seed because 8 out of 10, I suffered through it, and I don't love it, and I'll probably watch the second half, or maybe they're doing 2 more. Who knows?
Doing 2 more. It's like in Spaceballs. You said that 3 Dunes ago. I got no more left. Waiter, check please. And then candy drops.
As far as ratings goes, because I also made a point to get the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Do you ever look at that, or you don't give a shit?
Rarely.
Yeah, so I had brunch this past weekend with one of my buddies who's a big movie guy, and he's a big Rotten Tomatoes guy. And I don't even remember how we got there. We were talking about
having brunch, talking Oscars. When are you coming out?
We were talking about my honeymoon coming up, one of us, where he says he's going to Hawaii. And I said to him, like, oh, are you going to rewatch all the old Forgetting Sarah Marshall, 50 First Dates? And he just looks me dead in the eye and goes, I've never seen 50 First Dates. And
Is that right?
What? All right? It's better than all right.
It's better than all right. All right, fine.
50 First Dates is very watchable.
Sean Astin steals the movie, though.
The juicer is so good. I thought Rob Schneider was fantastic as but as far as Dune goes on Rotten Tomato, the critics gave it an 84, the audience gave it a 90, which is pretty high for a movie that.
Look at all those little those people who like Chalamet, the snowflakes.
All right, so moving on from Dune, what was the other one that you saw?
Well, I thought that House of Gucci would have been nominated. I saw that. I thought it was pretty good.
We're talking about Best Pictures. You just literally, I want to talk about this one.
I thought it would have been nominated, but I watched it. It wasn't. We saw Belfast, which I ended up having to pay for in Massachusetts. My mom didn't realize that, if you're not in the same state or whatnot, it doesn't go on the same account. So God knows what they've been putting on our credit card in Massachusetts. It's in our house. I said, yeah, Mom, it's my account. So she's been putting God knows, a night nurses from Jersey.
Thoughts on Belfast?
It was awful. It was the longest hour and a half of my life. And the joke has been, whenever my mom says she's going to see a movie now, I go, oh, you see Belfast too? Belfaster? That's what we go with now. We all looked at each other. I think Jenna fell asleep during it. My mom went and like, how much longer is this? I go, it's been 43 minutes. It's just, I don't know. I'm so miserable these days. Nothing's getting to me. Nothing works.
I agree with you, dude. Belfast is
rough.
The 3 seed as far as official betting odds.
That's Kenneth Branagh. He got us all through high school because he wrote all those Shakespeare movies.
Gilderoy Lockhart?
Who?
He was in Harry Potter. I got it.
Oh, is he?
But
fine.
I agree with you.
I watched one of those over the weekend too, The Order of the Phoenix. It was all right. They're getting darker. They're getting less charming.
Easy, buddy. I swear to God, I will kick you off this podcast right now if you start talking about Harry Potter poorly.
Kicked me off. It was fine. I got 2 more of those to sit through.
3 more.
3 more?
They broke up the last one, into 3.
Into 3?
Into 2, sorry. So you have the next one, you have the Half-Blood Prince, and then you have the last one is the Deathly Hallows is 2 parts in movies. Book, it's only 1 if you want to read it.
You read it to me. Do the characters.
Hire Linda Cohn.
I would love that. Now we're talking.
Zach, I'm with you. Belfast was one of those movies that you just kept looking at the clock and go Belfaster. That movie, it was in black and white, and there was Van Morrison. And then they went to the movies, and it was in color.
Clerks.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, when they go there, that was the best part of the movie, and it wasn't even them.
No, it was
horrible. That was one of those movies that just because it was 1969, they did black and white. No, thank you. Belfast, I ended up putting for me as my number 9, worse than Dune by far.
And I'm going to watch Coda imminently because Jenna's rock hard for any sort of deaf movie, which I thought I watched last year, the last deaf movie that came out. The sound and the music or the metal and the deaf drummer guy who got the...
Yeah. Oh, Riz Ahmed, that guy's great.
Sure, she was just, for that. Then she would tell me all the things that were wrong with it with her audiologist friend.
Oh, that's annoying. But you didn't see that. What was the other one you
Not
said?
yet.
So you said
Well, I
Don't
saw
Look
Don't
Up.
Look Up, which was fantastic.
All right. So Don't Look Up, as far as betting odds, is the 8 seed,
Yeah.
which means 8 out of 10. Now, in my awards, Don't Look Up is my number 2. It gets the silver medal because, one, it has rewatchability all over it. You can rewatch that,
Yeah,
pick up new jokes.
quotable. When Jonah Hill said thanks for dressing up, I fell off the couch. Like, just fell off the couch.
But he's a 4-star general. Why did he need
Oh,
$20?
it's so good. She's
It was great.
obsessing over it. It's so good.
That gets my number 2. I loved it a lot. And Rotten Tomatoes, critics give it a 55, audience 78. You know what I've been telling people about that? As soon as you realize it's not a straight movie, where when I started watching it, the first half hour, I'm going, so what is this, Armageddon on the Earth? This is stupid. And then I realized, oh, it's one big satire. Oh, I get it. And I was laughing my ass off. I thought it was great.
It was brilliant.
The way they take
movies, though.
The character where he's like an Elon Musk, Tim Cook type of guy. I loved it. I thought it was great. Oh, just don't look at it. People act like this, and it's insane.
God forbid a funny movie can win something.
I agree.
No,
with you.
God forbid Belfast wins. Give it to Belfast.
My bronze medal, I'm giving to. No, I just want to say, as far as these movies go, there is a big line for me because my top 5 I thought were good to great, and I thought the bottom 5
very strong.
So bad. So my bronze medal, I actually just watched today. Licorice Pizza is very watchable.
I've wanted to watch it, but I couldn't find a way to stream it without paying for it, so I haven't. I know, you got a guy.
I know a guy, blow guy.
Exactly.
So for me, I watched that movie and it broke one rule of mine. I watched the whole movie, and at the end of the movie, I had to Google why it was called Licorice Pizza, which I hate. When you watch a movie at the end, you go, what the hell? Oh, wait, I don't get why the name was why. Like Titanic, do you know what that was about?
The ship Titanic?
There it is.
So you're like the Family Guy, where he likes to say the name of the movie in the movie.
Pretty much. But for people who want to know, this isn't ruining anything.
The clear and present danger.
Licorice Pizza was the whole movie set in the 70s, and Licorice Pizza was a record store where records back in the day used to kind of, the vinyl looked like black licorice, and the records are the shape of a pizza. That's it. It had nothing to do with anything as far as the movie goes, but that was one of those like, okay, cool. Here's a fun fact.
That is cool. That gets me there.
Here's what I didn't know
about that.
The main guy, Cooper Hoffman, son of
Abby Hoffman,
PSH, Philip Seymour.
Oh, in real life. They meant like in the movie.
No, in real life. But the movie it was great. You would love it because they have this Jew-faced girl who the whole time I'm going, and they make fun of her in the movie. A couple of times, very laughable. And one time I just go, why do they even have this girl? Apparently she's a thing. She's her name's Alana Haim. She's in a band, Haim, with her sisters. They had her.
Is she Corey Haim's sister?
No, it's her and her 2 sisters. They're in a band who were actually in the movie, and they had their Jewy father, Maury.
They did the SNL like last year. Haim.
Yes.
So my sister would like them, but nobody else would.
She's the main girl there, and we already talked about Don't Look Up, but Zach, I suffered through a lot of these movies.
Wait, what's your Duke or your Arizona? Onions, double order.
My number 1, which I sat and watched by myself, was Coda. And that movie was
the one. I might be watching that after this.
By a lot. It was
Jenna. He loved Coda.
Coda is such a beautiful movie. First off, there's a plot. There's push and pull. There's a scene, I don't want to ruin it for you, where the dad ends up with a fungal infection and they go to the doctors. It is hysterically laugh out loud. And I'm not going to spoil this, but towards the end of that movie, when she is singing and starts signing, if you don't get choked up, you are a heartless bastard.
Well, both things can be true. Was Marlee Matlin better in that or in Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
When she's the lip reader? I'll do it.
Now, here's another one that I also had to Google, so it broke a little bit of my rules.
What's Coda's rank on the professionals list? The
95 by the pros, 93 by the audience.
What's the odds on it?
Oh,
is it
the
gonna
odds.
Win?
Odds is it's going off as the 2 seed. It's a minus 1,400. No, maybe it's plus minus. 14. Sorry, plus 1,400. So you bet $100, you win 14. There's no way it's going to win because they're going to give it to Power of the Dog, which got 12 nominations, which is Ben-Hur level, and that very low down there for me. But finishing up with Coda, COTA, CODA. What does this?
You've got the one important letter.
What does it stand for?
I didn't know until about 20 minutes ago when Jenna told me, so I got a ringer in the house. But yeah, you got the T was wrong. Child of a deaf adult.
Yeah. And Zach, it is such a great movie for somebody who suffered through 10 of these. It is a perfect movie. And the fact that that girl isn't even nominated for something is a shonda.
Ooh, Marley Matlin or the kid?
The kid.
All right. All right. I'll watch it. I'll watch it, Coda. I might watch
Very,
it tonight.
very, very good. Coda's my 1. Nightmare Alley's too long. It's my 4. It's fine. Nothing special. You know, you sat there, you watched Bradley Cooper do magic and stuff. He's a carny,
I
super.
like magic.
Will Smith is going to win for King Richard. He's getting his best actor.
Yeah. Are they glorifying a not so great guy? I mean, like,
They didn't make him seem that terrible.
Why not the? Yeah, it's a movie. Why not the Earl Woods story? I'd rather see that.
You don't think that's going to come out eventually?
Earl Woods?
Sure.
I mean,
did he diddle somebody? Like, why can't they do that?
No, he didn't. He was actually an okay guy, and they already did it. Watch SNL when they did Tim Meadows and Tracy Morgan doing Tiger and Earl Woods. 2 minutes of gold.
I'll definitely check that out. But my issue, which I've complained a little bit in the past, is I don't love when they give these Best Actor awards to people who do good impersonations. And that's all. There's so much video on Richard Williams doing all his shtick that, like, Will Smith does a really good impersonation. How you doing? The movie's fine.
Not acting, it's impersonating. I agree with that. I thought his best movie was the money one, Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness, I really like that. All right, skipping through Power of the Dog. You can watch it twice. It's nothing special. My number 7 movie, why? Why did they redo West Side Story?
To make money? The answer to all your questions is money.
To make money? Oh, I'm happy you brought that up. Do you know what the budget was?
I have no idea.
$300 million. Do you know what the box was?
100?
75. Oh. Took a bath, Spielberg.
Bath? I don't know why you made it. I saw it the first time. Is it the same thing, or did they do anything different with it?
The exact same movie,
like frame for frame, but with like a Jewish Anita.
Anita's Jewish?
I think so. It was like Rachel, like Hell's something. I think she's like half.
No,
I looked it up last night. You told me you were watching it. You said she was. You had a name for her. What was that name you said she was?
I don't know, but it was taco night here. It smelled like Maria in my house.
Rachel Zegler plays Maria. I'm sorry, not Anita. Maria is Rachel Zegler. Anita's like the old.
Interesting.
Anita is Ariana DeBose.
Yeah, she was from Schmigadoon.
Schmigadoon?
Showing Apple. It also was.
I know what it is. It looked like It looked like something that others would like, but I wouldn't.
I enjoyed it very much. It was like one of those musicals that they just sang for no reason, like, will you pass me the cornbread?
I hate that stuff. I don't love musicals on Broadway. I'd rather see a play. I just don't sing me the story. Oh, God.
We talked about some of these other ones, but my number 10, holy hell, Drive My Car, foreign film, one of the worst things I've ever seen. I know that they struck gold a couple years ago with Parasite, which is fantastic. Drive My Car was unwatchably bad.
Worse than Belfast, huh?
Worse than Belfast. It's longer. There's so much subtitles. Then they talk English. Then they have sign language. And then at the beginning of it, it's like all about
English?
this.
Do you talk English?
Jack talk Thai. Jack talk Thai very well. But some of these movies, I just want to help people out and go, Licorice Pizza was good. Zach, there's a scene in that movie.
Why don't they have like film critics that are just like us? Like, just tell real people what to see and what not to see. Siskel and Ebert and like, what's his name with the eyebrows? Leonard Maltin. They're like professionals at this. They like the arty stuff. Send 2 jerk-offs in there with like 7 beers and then and a shitload of popcorn and let them go write the thing up. Dude, this movie sucked. The pros are gonna like it. You won't. Just trust me because I'm you. Go see Grandma's Boy.
I nominate myself as tribute.
This
is exactly what I am trying to do for people right now, is to save you time with this. But exactly, it's like if I've seen so many movies and because the theater thinks it's good, but like some of these movies were so bad.
If you spell theater R-E, you're not for me.
I wanted to tell you though, because there's a scene in Licorice Pizza where Bradley Cooper, who has his 2 scenes in the movie, he turns this guy and there's a whole moment of a cool whip about Streisand. Fantastic.
That sounds like it would be up my alley. I want to see it.
Definitely so.
But this is what they should do on instead of Rotten Tomatoes, like something else. We're just a bunch of regular people give a regular review for someone who actually gives a shit, as opposed to like the Academy.
The problem is people who would give a real opinion. How many times do you think I've ever gone on Rotten Tomatoes and either looked or voted?
No, you don't have to look or vote. You do this. You have a forum, or ask me to see a movie and I'll give you a review. That's the kind of thing. Give me one day, and I'll give you a review.
I take my recommendation seriously, so that's all I'm saying. When you watch Coda later, let me know.
I will. Was that your way of saying like in a deaf voice? Was that what we just did? You do a Marley Matlin or like a Helen Keller thing?
No.
No, duh.
All right, Zach, the expert on animated, because I saw Encanto, and
What
we
did
don't
you
talk
think?
about Bruno.
We talk about Bruno a lot in my house. Where's animated? I can't even find it on my list. Anyway, the hell with it. I saw Encanto 4 times, maybe more. It's on a lot in my house. There's a lot of singing. This Mirabelle. Like, the songs are charming at best. There is no plot, very thin. There's no bad guy. The only bad guy is just like a creepy uncle, which welcome to everybody's family. If you're at dinner and you don't know within 30 seconds who Bruno is, it's you. So I saw Encanto just because it was made doesn't make it necessarily good. But it was made. So there's that.
But as far as Disney films, Encanto is the film of the year, but it's not an all-timer by
not
stretch.
the film of the year.
A film of the year by Pixar Disney. Or actually, I think it's not Pixar. I was corrected.
It's not, because I also saw Luca, another something, maybe it was DreamWorks. That was the other one. There's a very thin plot. That was a half man, half fish set in Italy, sort of.
A mermaid.
Merman.
Luca Brasi.
Exactly. That's pretty much what it was. I'd rather see Luca Brasi. The best of all, maybe the best movie on all of these lists, truth be told, Raya and the Last Dragon is fire.
I see what you did there. Fire, Last Dragon. Okay.
She didn't really breathe fire. She didn't do a ton. And I don't love that Aquafina generally. I don't find her as delightful and charming as someone else. She was fine in it. I thought, Samantha liked Luca. Sounds on brand.
She has a 3-year-old. Obviously, she's going to like Luca.
No, Luca's a little more highbrow than a 3-year-old. She liked Luca. She didn't say they. She said we. We includes her. I thought Raya was by far the best animated picture. It had action. It had, Asian chicks. It had a lot going for it. It had the Asian girl from Arliss, who's been in a lot of other stuff, but I still know her from Arliss.
Sandra Oh?
Yeah.
You understand she's a star right now.
Yeah, from Arliss.
No. What's that show that's a big hit with the BBC show where she's tracking the killer the whole time? Killing Eve.
Different kind of BBC. And we've derailed.
Also, Grey's Anatomy, you idiot.
Arliss.
Okay.
First 4 seasons of Arliss were amazing.
Fire. They're really good.
They're really good.
Arliss was very good.
I didn't see Flea, and I didn't see Mitchell and the Machine, I don't think. Encanto's gonna win. Raya should, but Encanto's gonna just run away with this crap. Because Lin-Manuel Miranda needs to get his EGOT.
Is this the final for Lin-Manuel?
I think it's his.
If Lin-Manuel wins this year, he gets his EGOT?
I think he does.
Good for him.
Definitely got Emmys and Tonys galore. And what's the other one?
No, he definitely won for Moana, right?
He didn't do Moana.
He did the songs.
No, he didn't. Did he?
Kicking the dick?
Lin-Manuel from Moana? I don't think he did. Maybe. No, well, he didn't win because doesn't have the EGOT.
Okay.
And he's got Grammys because he's got Hamilton going on. I think this is the one. I think he needs this one for the win.
God, he was in a show on HBO we started. Stunk. We got 4 episodes in. I was like, this is terrible.
He did the Moana music?
Yes. What else you got for this year's Oscars?
I think that's for the weird ones, like for hairstyling, Coming to America 2 was on there. I saw that. I mean, good for them. What else did I see? There's a lot of Nightmare Alley and a lot of Belfast and a lot of West Side Story on this. I think that might be it. I might be up. What else you got?
They definitely have just gotten to the point where they just go, who is in this?
It's the same 7 movies over and over again for everything. There's no diversity on different movies on here.
Zach, Power of the Dog got 12 nominations. That's the same as The English Patient. It was terrible.
That was terrible too. Did you see that shit, The English Patient? I did. It was boring as all hell.
Is that the one they make out during? Or is that Schindler's List?
Well, no, they make out during Schindler's List, but Elaine falls asleep during The English Patient and hates it and just says, give me something I could use. Sex in a tub. It's so good. Anything else that I saw? I did not see The Tragedy of Macbeth, but I've seen Macbeth many, many times over. That might be
the only award that, because it's Denzel. Denzel could read the alphabet on stage, and they're going to give him a nomination for something.
Oh my God, Belfast got it. Belfast got nominated for sound. What does that mean? What was the sound other than Van Morrison and like bang and boom and like what does that mean?
The biggest
Sound from Belfast.
tragedy was that in Belfast, they didn't call her Dame Judi Dench at all, which is the best part of her name.
Yeah. But like for real, what I mean, I could see the Bond movie or Dune even for sound. What sounds are in Belfast?
There was
It was just
explosions,
talking.
Protestants, Catholics, I don't know.
It was like 4 explosions in the whole movie. It was hardly Die Hard. Um, I didn't see. There's the same movies over and over again in this. No, I guess I'm out.
I just know for me, when it comes to the Power of the Dog, which I'm just gonna keep ripping on, Power of the Dog for me, I felt like the movie Big. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get it. What, he just says bugs? That should have won Best Picture. Why don't good movies win Best Picture?
Robert Loggia. All right,
He was-
Zachy, we didn't do Pisha Do of the Week last week, so I have a ton of things written down
Did you
to
say
go
it was
through.
Eric just cause?
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Clip went viral about 2 weeks ago where a couple recorded giving a tip to a waitress at the restaurant, except they played a little game with it. Now, I didn't go too deep into the rabbit hole, but I assume it was one of those like, here's $5 under this one, $10 under this one, and like $100 under this one, or something to that
They did
effect.
3-card Monty with her?
They had her close her eyes or they had her pick a thing, and the waitress said she had a good time. In theory, she had a chance to win a lot of money. And of course, online, people are like, that is horrible. Why would
This
you
isn't
ever?
Monty Hall. This is Let's Make a Deal.
I'm just saying, all right, if you're the waitress or waiter and it's a $50 bill and they say we have a 5, a 20, or a 50, do you want to play? What do you do?
But what if I don't play? What do I get?
Spit in your, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. This is like Saw.
You want to play a game?
Exactly. I guess I have to play. I'm not thrilled about playing. I did my job admirably, I would assume, to only have it come down to, some freak show door game where I might win a goat.
Keep in mind, we're talking 10%, 20%, and 50% type of deal.
I understand, but fundamentally, it totally mocks your job. So if you did your physical therapy, whatever, and someone says, I'm going to get you 10% of the bill, half the bill, or the whole bill, here's a shell game, what would you do?
How does the 3 seashells work? I still can't figure that out.
It's very delicate. That should have won Best Picture, or at least for Best Sound.
I am so glad that Oriana is here commenting on this as somebody who I have a feeling she did a lot of waitressing at the Texas Arizona because
she did a lot, $50.
She is candidate number 2 for Pisha Do of the Week.
What'd she do?
What did she do? The 3 of us are in a text chain, and about 2 weeks ago, something came up about Wordle, and she was like, hey, did you guys also get this? And I was like, what an asshole.
What an asshole is right. But that same day, you should have wished her happy birthday like 8 times, and to this day, you still haven't. So I give her a pass.
She ruined
Love
my
you,
Wordle?
O.
Fuck her. No,
What?
I'm still not over it. I'm still mad at her.
Love you, O. Go on.
All right. This next one I saw that tickled me. And now I don't know where you're going to fall on this because of your sensitivities, but there's a roommate situation that was posted online where this one person keeps on eating the other roommate's food, including their ice cream. So what the person did was they got, I don't know, chocolate ice cream, took that out and put in peanut butter flavored ice cream with peanuts in it. The person was allergic to peanuts and had a very bad reaction. Zach, you're allergic to peanuts. Would you be like...
No, peanuts I can eat, but still, I get it. I love it. There's a higher power. If you don't want to get poisoned, don't eat their food. It's justice.
Are you willing to put poison in your food? Because what level... Why not put anthrax in it?
Why not? How much of my shit they're going to eat?
That's a Power of the Dog reference to anthrax.
The band?
No, the poison.
Oh. I don't have the band.
So you're okay with this?
I mean, did he die?
I didn't look that far into it.
If he died, no. Murder, I'm not okay with. Anything less than that, had he been warned? Or is it a first strike to escalation?
I think there was more of that. There was probably an aggressive note at some point.
Oh, yeah. If you've been warned multiple times, I mean, I've done things to people's food that are edible, but we'll talk offline. He was eating my cereal. Had to be done. We'll talk offline. So I'm okay with it because I believe firmly that the best revenge is not living well. The best revenge is revenge.
Fair enough. Next candidate. I can't figure out for the life of me who's the idiot here, but have you been following this whole trucker thing, protesting COVID
Yeah.
mandates after mandates have been removed and they've been lining up close to DC? It's been a little bit. And
Yeah.
then was it yesterday or the day before? A bicyclist got in front of them and started messing with them. So he's just going along, slowing down. And they're just honking their horns in the bicyclist space. Like there's this whole back and forth. I laugh so hard, but is the bicyclist the piece of do? Are the truckers the piece of do? Or is it a higher power?
The truckers are the piece of dues until the bicyclist gets the shit kicked out of him or run over. Once it changes, because I love that he's doing this Tiananmen Square, but that guy could have shot him with a tank. These guys could run you over. So he is fantastic at his civil disobedience, and they're the piece of dues for just doing it. But if they run him over, he immediately becomes a piece of do because you shouldn't even be there in the first place. What are you doing?
I actually really worry because I've heard about some crazy, crazy trucker stories. Those people are some weird people. I really fear for that man's butthole. I do.
Oh, they're all into gay sex.
I'm just saying.
That's what they're known for.
And the last candidate. I don't know if you heard this story from a bunch of weeks ago. I was going to take a victory lap like nobody's business because the first ever whole heart transplant from a pig happened at the University of Maryland. And I really meant to bring it up and just gloat how great my school is, how great my medical school is, and how much smarter we are
The guy died?
Dead 2 months later.
Yeah, there's your piece of do, Maryland.
I seriously meant to be like, oh my God, we're the best. And then I got this notification the other day. I was like, oh man, I really meant to bring that up at a later date.
So what were my choices? Maryland,
Your choices
Pig, Oriana, and who?
We have the waitress tip game, the pig heart transplant, Oriana, Wordle, ruining Wordle. And for people who don't know, we all get the same words. So don't be that guy. And also, don't post your score.
Oriana, try Loodle. It's almost impossible with its dirty words.
That's common vernacular in her house.
Hi-oh.
We have the roommate eating the ice cream allergies, and the bicycle. It was actually a she, and the bicycle versus the truckers.
Give me her number. She's my style. I think it's the bicycle if he gets hit. If it's not, if he lived, then it's the Maryland guy for killing someone with a pig heart. I mean, he tried his best, but it didn't quite happen.
I assume the guy had comorbidities, right? Or something.
The guy or the pig?
Too much bacon for the...
Yeah, hey-o. Exactly.
All right, Zach. We're skipping trivia again just because we don't have the time.
We're not going to skip over what your shirt is, are we? That you actually bought a shirt at establishment.
Excuse me. When you perform on stage at a strip club the way that I did, you get one for free, my man. You should be throwing dollars in the air, not giving me a golf clap.
I'm not throwing dollars at you. I got a sack of Jawea. Can you make change? That's what your stick should have been. One of those little change things, those coins from like the 1920s. They throw you dollars, you make change.
And a Scottish kilt, just lift it up and hey ho, here's my little purse.
You need just the belt with the little chit.
Oh, I know what you're talking. My Uncle Jeffrey had one of those. That was great.
I have one somewhere in my house. Like those things are great.
So it's talking, Zach. We are going to segue finishing up this episode because next week we have hopefully a very special guest coming on, and it's going to be a very intense pod.
Coming on what?
Exactly. But we're going to have a good time. We're going to be appropriate. I'm very excited. I don't want to ruin the secret in case she bails, but it's going to be a ball of a time.
Oriana, you got to be there for this one.
Same person, I assume.
She's Oriana?
It's not Oriana. We've already had Oriana. She talked about cheesecake.
Yeah, I know. This will be more fun than your cheesecakes.
Booze your daddy, the podcast.
Aren't you going to tell what their bailiwick is so people know to tune in?
No, we're just teasing that it's going to be pretty R to NC-17 rated.
We're going to open at PG-13 and go up from there.
Booze your daddy, the podcast. Thanks for listening to this episode. Make sure you download and tell a friend. Go back, listen to an episode you didn't hear. We love the support. Thanks for listening, and I go Oscars.
Go Oscars, and go NCAA tournament. Onions, double order, with a kiss. Love Rafferty.
It's like the third time you said that.